This week on Spotlight, Kobe Bryant Part 2. We have more of his final remarks at the United Center. Then we switch to Robin Ventura. Could be his last year. He's got to prove that he can do more and make the playoffs. Then we go to trivia. My championship match at the Sock. Good stuff. And we remember Eddie Einhorn. Great TV innovator, Sox chairman, and all-around good guy. Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, it's the Perfect Pitch Auto Repair Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. You've got to get to the Cove. Benkowski Trivia Wednesday, March 9th, 8 p.m. Great people, great game. Easy to reach, 1750 East 55th, right by the lake. I'll see you, and you'll see the Cove. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays, 8 p.m., 93rd and Roberts Road. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. You've got to get to Dr. Sherman Clay, chiropractor. Gentle adjusting. Most insurance accepted. Massage therapy, too. Walk-ins are welcome. Call 773-324-4325. That's HEAL. Dr. Sherman Clay. Calabria Imports has Italian foods and a great deli. You mention this TV ad, and you get a free Joe tea with a sandwich order. Conveniently located at 1905 West 103rd Street, Calabria Imports has great stuff. Check it out. I do all the time. Since 1967, El Jardín has been serving the finest Mexican food. Before, after, or during ball games, located conveniently just 3 blocks south of Wrigley Field, 3335 North Clark. Whether there's a game or not, you still get hungry, and El Jardín has great service, great food, and great drinks. I've enjoyed every meal I've had there, and you will too. So get to El Jardín for great Mexican food at 3335 North Clark Street in Chicago. You'll be glad you did. Family Dentist. Lawrence Ferlin, DDS, 109th and Kedzie. Crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. Call 773-233-7044. They're doing a great job for me. They'll do a great job for you. Call Family Dentist, Lawrence Ferlin. So the Chicago contingent of Kobe Bryant Laker fans are here for the last hurrah, if you will. And pretty amazing, but I guess not really. Somebody who's in his 20th season and scored 33,000 points is going to have some fans. And those numbers are really astounding when you consider that he scored more than Michael Jordan. And he scored more than everybody except Karl Malone and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, and 5 titles too. That comes up in this interview. Very wide-ranging, I might add, with several Chicago references, several Michael Jordan references, and just kind of an international view of basketball for the young man who grew up in Italy. Maybe a little-known fact. But Kobe talks about all of it. And here's another increment of the Kobe Bryant final Chicago piece.
I've been very lucky that things have worked out the way that they have, you know, and understanding how rare it is to have a player in this generation play for one team. So I've been extremely, extremely fortunate. I drive by, I drive out in L.A. and Orange County, these places. I remember the city, like there weren't even buildings there. Like downtown L.A. wasn't what it is now, So I've literally watched the city develop in 20 years. It's been crazy.
Getting back to
You
Chicago
talked
for a
about,
second.
you talked about how going up against Michael, what was his influence on you as a young player, even before you got into the league? What was his influence on you?
Well, I mean, it's no words can really do it justice, because as a kid growing up in Italy, I mean, all I had was video, and so I studied everything. I studied every player, and then once I came back to the States and I realized I wasn't going to be 6'9", I started studying Michael exclusively, and then when I came to the league and matching up against him, what I found that he was extremely open to having a relationship, a mentor relationship, and giving me a great amount of advice and an amazing amount of detail, strategies, workout regimens, and things like that. So, and seriously, I mean, I don't think people really understand the amount of impact that he's had on me as a player and as a leader. So if I was fortunate enough to come here, right, if that trade had happened and I'd be here, it's not a pressure situation to live up to what he's done. It's more like, man, can I carry on this man's legacy? Can I do it justice? Right? Can I represent Chicago the way that it should be represented in his honor? So just a tremendous, tremendous amount of influence.
One of the most consistent things that opposing players, I think teammates and coaches have said throughout this farewell tour, is that you're the Michael Jordan of this generation, or you're our Michael Jordan. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, what I take to mean from it is that our competitiveness is second to none. I mean, we're pretty obsessive about how to get an edge and how to compete with people, to the point where, you can't say any, like when I was playing, if I said hi to a player, they're looking at me sideways, like, what is he up to? You know what I mean? And I think it's that attention to detail and that competitive spirit that I think really makes that connection. Not too many players are as maniacal as we've been.
A lot of Bulls fans maybe were hoping that you wouldn't get to 6 to be tied with Michael. Do you think about that at all?
No, well, I'm sure. Of course, I mean, if you're a Bulls fan, of course, right? And my job was to try to win as many championships as possible, right? And so 6 doesn't seem like it's in the cards. And so, but I'm okay with that, because as a player, you want to try to do everything you can with what you have and leave no stone unturned. And if you can look yourself in the mirror and honestly say that you've done that, I'm more than happy.
Would you be able to embrace this tour if the Lakers were a better team and more in contention, or would you be so narrowly focused on I am winning another championship? Would you be able to pass on the play with each other's kids and things like that?
Mhm.
If the Lakers were, as an OKC, the Golden State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do it, but you guys will probably never see it. You guys will keep just going on thinking I'm just this big all the time. It's just totally fine.
While you're out there trying to win, people are coming to these buildings. They want to see Kobe Bryant. Jordan lived up to those expectations, tried to.
You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. Kim G. Sherman, psychotherapist, Desplaines Wellness Center. Therapy for individuals, couples, families. Call 847-962-4849. I've known Kim for over 20 years. She is a true professional, and she will help you. Give her a call. Family Dentist, Lawrence Furlan, DDS, 109th and Kedzie. Crowns, veneers, cleanings, improving your smile. They do a great job. Call 773-233-7044. Excellent work, impeccable. Call the Family Dentist, 773-233-7044. They did a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. You've got to get the Del Sur Mexican restaurant. Open for lunch and dinner daily. Spectacular new menu. And our trivia game The next one on Friday, March 11th at 6 p.m. 46th and Halsted, easy to reach. Del Sur Mexican restaurant with a unique presentation that you can check out at my trivia game. I'll see you there Friday, March 11th, 6 p.m., 46th and Halsted. Welcome to another edition of the Spotlight. And Robin Ventura, intense activity at Sox Fest. He's asked a wide range of questions.
Well, I think you do that no matter what. I mean, as Rick had mentioned before, it's regardless of what people think of the outside pressures, you want to win just because you want your team to get off to a good start. You want to make a good run at it. Besides just I have 1 year on a contract. That's not a secret. But regardless of that, I would want to win just as many games early on, whether it was 10 years. It doesn't matter. The competitive part for everybody is we all want to get off to a good start. That much is for sure.
I think this is going to be an improved defensive club. I mean, having Frazier at third, Lowry, and a couple things. How will that affect kind of bottom line?
Well, I think the bottom line is we didn't catch it very well last year, and it went around. It was a little bit more than just second base or third base, but with the pitching that we have, you start rolling out the guys that we have as starters. You alleviate the pressure on them, and I think there becomes a little more. I don't know if it's overthrowing, but they have to exert more when they get in trouble because we're making errors behind them. So, offensively, we need to score some runs. You start adding those two things together. We're hoping to flip the switch on. If you're down by a run, you're now going to be up by a run because you're saving yourself, from having to work harder. And you also look at it as just our first inning was a nightmare. To be able to get through the first inning without giving anything up and go from there.
How are you?
Hey, Bruce.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Things have changed since we talked to you last at the winter meetings. You don't have Thompson to push anybody in the outfield.
Say that again.
You don't have Thompson to push anybody in the outfield. How do you make it still the earning business for the other outfielders if Rick is not able to add anybody to your roster?
Well, I think that becomes, how they're playing. That if we have somebody that come in, I think JB does a good job of that. He's been a great pinch hitter for us coming off the bench and really like what he brings to the table. But we got some other guys that are coming into camp that you really want to see how they play in spring training, that they can be able to push as well as Trace did. And, then it becomes the performance factor of if you're doing the job, you get to keep playing, and if not, we're going to find somebody else to be able to do that.
Does that mean you might go with 5 or 6 outfielders?
I don't know about 5 or 6 outfielders, but we'll definitely have 4. Depends on. I mean, when we get to spring training, if it fits the way it is right now, we're probably at about 4 outfielders. But when we get down there and we see who we have, that's that's when all the decisions really get made.
Robin, what are your feelings on Abigail Garcia? Do you really think that he can be a starter on a team contending for the AL Central?
Yeah, I do, and he's got work to do. There's no question about it. I mean that much he understands. He understands where he's at in his career and what he needs to do to make improvements in different parts of his game. And I think everybody reacts differently when they get in that situation, and I've really enjoyed and liked his reaction to it. He's come in great shape, ready to go, and is determined to prove everybody that he deserves to be on a roster and playing every day.
How about Adam LaRoche? How do you see him feeling in this year?
Well, similar to last year, but I made a joke earlier about sabermetrics shows that he has a really good year every other year, so we're counting on that too. If we're going to go with all the sabermetrics about everything else, we're counting on that to hold true too.
As you got away from last year and look back on everything and evaluated yourself and your team, how did you feel about the way you managed, and what did you learn that you think you'll apply this year?
I think you learn different things every year of how you're dealing with guys, but going into every year you have a different group of players, and they help you change as well. So I think when you bring in guys, you bring in Frazier, you bring in Lowry, Alex Avila, you have the honor. You're changing things as you go along because you have different players, you have different elements that you're dealing with. So there becomes a little bit of a game in spring training of trying to understand those guys and put them in the best spots possible.
Robin, if say you
one thing you might have changed to turn
The record.
Yeah. Outside, what would you have done to turn that around?
Well, we would have done it.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted to change the record. So at this point, we went back and we looked at it, and we got a couple new players that we think that'll improve us. And we keep bringing up their names, but you know, a guy like Todd is a quality player that. You know, we weren't the only team looking to add a guy like Todd Frazier and Brett Lauer. So we feel fortunate to be able to bring them in and hopefully, you know, smooth over those things that we felt we had some rough spots.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous grade of cloth. Call 708-388-3700. And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget the Illinois Lottery too. That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski. You've got to get to the Sock. Live Benkowski Trivia, alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, everything great. At the Sock. We'll see you there. 93rd and Roberts Road in beautiful Hickory Hills. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Papa Joe's new location, 5900 West 111th Street. Italian beef, tetrazzini, great pizza, Parmesan, ravioli, and more. All my classic choices. New location, and they can still deliver into the city. Get to Papa Joe's. We're back on the Spotlight 2015 Benkowski Trivia Match. We are at the Sock, 93rd and Roberts Road. Let's take it away with questions. Thomas Edison. 5 seconds. 1839 is too far back. We go to Night Out for Thomas Edison. 5 seconds. 52 is too recent. We go to Jordan and Marks. 5 seconds. 160. Going. 1864. Did you say 1864? Too recent. We go to Sock Danger.
1845. Yep.
1847, you got it. And Sock Danger to 1110. Look at that now. 6 teams. 6 teams in the thousands. Sock Bar is up. Birth or sports? In the NFL, in 1999, Curtis Martin ran for over 1,400 yards for the Jets, but ranked number 2 in NFL rushing. Who was number 1 in the NFL with 1,553?
What year was that?
1999. Five seconds. Well, Daniel Tomlinson is a great try, not it. We go to the Stooges. 5 seconds. Yes.
Sean Alexander.
Sean Alexander is not it. We go to Shy Sharks. 99. 5 seconds. Going. Marshall Falk is not it. We go to JMB. Thurman Thomas is not it. We go to Salt and Pepper.
What was the question again?
He led the NFL in rushing in 99. 5 seconds. Going. So sorry. We go to Night Out. Five seconds. Going. Out of time. We go to Jordan and Marks. Throw. Stooges 1450. You got the Sharks at 1380. J&B 1340. Jordan Marks 1330. Sock Danger 1290. Sock Bar 1260. You got Night Out at 7 bills. Salt and Pepper 6 bills. Anybody can win because 3,000 points are available to each team. Now, the change in format is this, and it's going to stay this no matter how much you don't like it. So, we're not going to use the numbering system, but to ensure that each question is fresh and immediately answered, the lowest scoring team will start. So the order is predetermined. Salt and Pepper will go first, and we'll go all the way up with Stooges on the last selection. The good news is there's 16 things to choose from. I will not say those things. You're going to send up 2 players to look at the list and then retreat to your team with your selection, and then I'll ask the questions immediately. I will not announce the final topics. So there's absolutely no chance of anybody doing any homework. Stuff. So let's hear it for Salt and Pepper. Question number 1. 2 answers on this one, because 2 artists combined to do this year Uptown Funk.
Mark Ronson and Bruno Mars.
Ronson and Mars is correct for 500. Question number 2. Can't Feel My Face.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd is correct. And then finally, going for 3G. Born in 1993. Who did Budapest? Five seconds. Going. Out of time. The correct answer was George Ezra. And the 2000s, Section A. You've got to get the Jacks. 3325 Ridge Road in Lansing. Trivia every Tuesday at 7 p.m. A very intense competitive game. Any of half a dozen teams can win. We go to Oliver's, 6100 West 159th Street for live trivia. Thursday, February 4th, the next one, at 7 p.m. That's a fun, rambling crowd. Eat, drink, and have fun at Oliver's. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie. Trivia will be at the Sock. Alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. 93rd and Roberts Road. Great food, great drink, great people. Everything great. You've got to get to Del Sur Mexican restaurant. Open for lunch and dinner daily. Spectacular new menu. And my trivia game. Friday, March 11th at 6 p.m. 46 in Halstead. Easy to get to and a great meal. You should really try Del Sur. Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink, at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. You better get to Jackie's Hot Dogs, open past midnight 7 days. 2 Polish and fry, $5.69. Gyros plate with big fries, $8.59. Big Baby double cheese, $2.85. Tamales, Italian beef, pizza puff, shakes, chicken breast, onion rings, and more at 5415 South Pulaski. They have it all going on at Jackie's Hot Dogs. I highly recommend it. I eat there periodically. I love it. You should try it too. 2001, this movie, 3 words, had Colin Firth. It had Hugh Grant and starring female. 3 words. Bridget Jones' Diary is correct for 500. Question number 2. 2 words. 2007. 2007. Wow. 2007. Katherine Heigl.
That's all I get is Katherine Heigl?
2 words.
Knocked up.
Knocked up is correct. You didn't need any more. And now you're going for 3,000. 3-word answer. 2008. Javier Bardem had his cake and his pie and Rebecca Hall for dessert. Or as a 3rd dessert. What'd you say? Vicky Cristina Barcelona is correct. So, you improve to 3,700. And that heats it up for the Sock Bar, playing Chicago neighborhoods, according to the City of Chicago map.
I know.
2-word answer. North of Pilsen and east of the Tri-Taylor Triangle. Five seconds. The correct answer, University Village. All right, you got 2 more tries to score some points. Here we go. On the north side, 1 word, it ends in D, like David. East of Albany Park, west of Uptown. Five seconds. Going. Ravenswood. That's about all the time we have for this week's show. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week right here on The Spotlight. This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop. Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.